welcoming you all to day 2 of Hallway BIZ'23, a national webinar. Our guest for today is Dr. Natraj B. Sir is the Assistant Professor and Chairperson of MDPTSM. He is a PhD from Bharatiyar University. Sir has more than a decade of teaching and industry experience. He is not only a multi talented academician, but is also a professional in business analytics, data science, and management research. He is also proficient educator and a professional trainer, and is a well versed with numerous computer languages and software. He joined TSM after a brief stint as an educator in Great Lakes Institute of Management, Chennai. His favorite areas of research are relationship quality, customer relationship management, predictive analysis, and sustainability. Sir has published 23 articles in reputed journals and has been invited to speak in numerous conferences all over the country. We are happy to have you, sir.
Thank you, Sai Sudha, for the warm introduction. It's my proud and privilege to be a guest speaker for your conference at DG Vaishnav College. My main thanks to Renju ma'am and Sadhulata ma'am for inviting me as a guest speaker. I'm happy to ignite the young minds of DG Vaishnav College, especially the BBA department, and all other faculty members who are eagerly waiting for this lecture. So without much delay, I would like to start my presentation. Let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So the topic for today's discussion is how analytics is redefining the DNA of business. So if you just observe the industry around you, everyone is talking about analytics, business analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. In today's this lecture, we will understand how these industries are getting benefited out of this business analytics. What exactly is this business analytics, and what are the things that is happening in business analytics, and how one should upskill themselves towards this area so that they can move along with the trend. So that's a basic idea for today. I'm happy to share my thoughts. At the same time, I'm ready to get the input from the participants as well. So whenever you have any doubts or clarification or any queries, you can stop me then and there, and then you can ask me. I wanted to keep it as interactive as possible. So that's my intention. Thank you for the very warm introduction about me. So I am Dr. Natraj. Currently, I'm working with Tyagaraja School of Management, and I am the MDP chairperson here. So basically, we will conduct management development programs for the industries in and around the Madurai. So I'm coordinating those activities. So we have a tie-up with Speak Tutoring, we have tie-up with Accenture, we have tie-up with other important companies like TVS, Chakra, and so on. So these companies, if they want to upskill their employees, they will approach us, and we will provide training for them. So I am in the process of providing the transferring the knowledge from a practical perspective. So that's my job here. I am the chairperson for postgraduate diploma in data science and business analytics program. So as I told you already, so this 1 year program is happening in TSM, and it's basically it is designed for working professionals. These working professionals will attend the classes during the weekends, so they have classes only during Saturdays and Sundays. So that's it's another additional responsibility of TSM. I have 12 plus years of industry research and teaching experience. I completed my PhD from Bharatiyar University, and these are the list of courses I have taught in TSM and also in my previous institute, Great Lakes Institute of Management. So I was in Chennai from the year 2010 to 2020. So during that period, I was working with the Great Lakes SRM institutes and so on. During that tenure, I have taken these kind of subjects, and I published, as in the introduction, I published some research papers in ABDC listed journals, Scopus Index journals, and so on. And these are the list of software packages I am well versed with. And apart from the above mentioned academic qualification, I've also completed my Doctor of Medicine in Acupuncture and I am practicing acupuncture therapy. So, so let us start with an end in mind. So by the end of this session, you will understand what is business analytics, the importance of business analytics. So that will be covered in this 1 hour session, and you will understand the scope of business analytics, what are the boundaries of business analytics. Learn the applications of analytics in business decisions. In today's world, it is data-driven decisions. So when a person is going, or when an important decision maker in an organization is going to take a decision, you should read the data, understand the data, and then make a final decision. So how the companies are approaching towards that. So that we will see. We will learn the applications of analytics in business decisions. Impact of analytics in business. So how this analytics is impacting the business, and how technologies like AI, IoT, blockchain is going to redefine the DNA of business. So nowadays, the technology has become a part of the business. Without technology, the business will be finding it difficult towards running it. So we will also see about how these game-changing technologies like AI, ML, IoT, blockchain is going to redefine the DNA of business. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. So let me just give a small number crunching exercise for you. You don't have the answer, but you can think and can give me some insights. Just look at this table and tell me what is being described in this table. I will give a minute of time. You can put your responses in the chat also. So just observe this table and tell me what you can understand from this table. Yeah. I hope you might have made your observations. Okay, let me give some of the important insights out of the table. So this is comparing 4 different countries of the world: India, China, Japan, and US. And in the first column here, we have years in anatomy, and it is showing population contribution and economic contribution of different countries. Right. So if in case, let us assume that there are 100 people around the world in the year 1000 AD. If there are 100 people around the world, 28 people are from India. Similarly, if the economic contribution of the world, the entire world is earning 100 rupees, 28.9 rupees is earned from India. I hope most of you are BBA students, and some of the faculties can also understand the economy behind it. That's the economic contribution and population contribution. So if you think closely, so the in 1000 AD, the population contribution is more or less equivalent to economic contribution. Okay, same is the case with China. The same is the case with Japan. But can anyone just think and tell me, or give a hint why there is no economic contribution from US in 1000 years? So thanks for thinking towards it. US is just a 300-old-year economy, and during the 1000 AD, only red Indians were there in the US. So there is no country called the US in 1000 AD. And gradually, if you see, the there is a disparity between economic contribution and population contribution. So if you start thinking the reason behind it, the world has moved from a skill-based economy to a service-based economy or a technology-based economy. Say, for example, in the year 2015, the population contribution from India is 17.7, whereas the economic contribution of India is only 6.3. Whereas in case of US, the population contribution is 2 and the economic contribution is 19.7. So which means that if there are 100 people in the world, 6.3 rupees is generated from India, whereas if there are 2 people in the world, when there are There are 100 people in the world, 2 are from US, and their economic contribution is 19.7. So the reason behind this disparity is, so based on the historical data, from a skill-based economy, we have moved towards a service-based economy or a technology-based economy. That's the basic reason. And this graph will tell you about the story. A picture speaks 1,000 words. So instead of showing it in a table, if you can analyze and if you can show it as pictures, the end user or the people who are reading it can understand it better. So in this case, this black line denotes India and this orange line denotes China. The same table I am representing in a graphical form so that people can understand it better. So that is the economic contribution towards this world GDP. So the underpinning point is, if you do a data visualization, you can speak 1,000 words. And let me again, the intention is not to question you or not to test your knowledge, but to make you think. Okay. So, what do you think is the major contribution of towards the world in 18th century? So, if you look back towards the answer, the correct answer is steam engine. So, that is the major contribution towards the world. That's a major invention in 18th century. In case of 19th century, electricity is the major invention. In case of 20th century, the greatest discovery of 20th century is crude oil. Based on that, only several automobile industry started growing up. Now the question is the current, that is 21st century. What is the greatest invention for the 21st century? You think back, and if you start looking at it, the answer will be data. So each and every second, 1.4 megabytes of data is getting generated. Data is like the new oil. So if you can combine, if you can relate data as a new oil, analytics will be the combustion engine. So data is in the crude form, data is in the raw form, and they have to convert the data into useful information. So from there, you can understand that data is the new oil. And we have seen thousands of years, and then we have seen centuries, then we are going to see about decades. So I believe everyone of you know about the significance of this year 1947. So that's the time when India got independence, and the tale of three countries: Germany, Japan, and India. So Germany and Japan, they were hit by the Second World War, and they were on the losing side. They also started rebuilding their economy only after 1945 or during that period. So if you see India, so all the parameters, so these are the parameters for measuring the prosperity of a nation, like total area in thousands of square kilometer, arable land, percentage of total arable land or cultivatable land, population in millions, median age. So all these conditions are favorable to India when compared to Germany and Japan. For example, the median age for India is 26, whereas for Germany it is 43, and for Japan it is 44, which means that the population of India is very young, and the midpoint of the age is only 26. And we have very good very good workforce for doing these kind of for these kind of skillful jobs or service-based jobs and so. And the effect of Second World War, Germany was completely destroyed. The Japan was completely destroyed, and they started rebuilding, and India was intact. And the rebuilding started during the year 1947, 46 to 47. Rebuilding started for Japan during the year 1946 and 47. And again here, the rebuilding started in the year 1946 to 47. The status today, we mentioned in the PPT as 2019, but even today, India is still a developing nation, whereas Germany and Japan have become developing. The reason I'm telling this is we have a very young population, and there is a huge potential for Indians to become great data scientists or business analysts, and they can showcase their talents towards this area. we are in the verge of a great data analytics revolution. So whatever things that happened in year 2000 for software industry, the same thing is going to happen in the business analytics industry during this 2022 to 2025. So with that confidence, we can move on. And this is the simple 2 by 2 graph which explains creativity and rules. So in x-axis we have creativity and y-axis we have rules. So people who are low on creativity and low on rules, they are called as clerks. Those people who are having who are high in creativity and low in rules, they are creators. People who are high in rules and low in creativity, they are called as bureaucrats. And the people who are high in creativity and high in rules, they are called as visionaries. So if you think about an example here for clerical activity, any person or any job that is requiring a monotonous activity like a repeated activity, they are called as clerical job. Okay, so you can take an example of accountant's job or anyone who is doing a monotonous activity like a skilled labor's job. They can be classified as clerical. And if you think about the example for creators, like any kind of artist can be classified as creators, because for an artist they have to be high on creativity, but they don't have to follow great rules. If you take for example the movie directors, the painters, the drama artists, even the cinematographers, the photographers, and all these things will come under creators. And if you think about, for an example, for bureaucrats, so these bureaucrats, the criteria is they have to be high on rules. So if you think about an example for this, then the chartered accountants, then the judges, the advocates, so all these people should be high on rules. So they should follow the standards first. The chartered accountant should follow the standard first, and then only they go for any other kind of alternative things. So CAs, judges, advocates, all these things are example for visionaries. And visionaries, if you think in case of politics, we can say a visionary Swami Vivekananda, then APJ Abdul Kalam. Then we can see in case of business, we can see Elon Musk as a visionary, Steve Jobs as a visionary. They are high on rules and high on creativity. So if you give, so this is a diagram of a brain, left and right brain. So left brain is responsible for your logical activities, and right brain is responsible for your creative activities. If you try to find a connect between your left and right brain, and the diagram that I showed previously, people who are very oriented towards their left brain, they can be clerks or they can be bureaucrats. People who are oriented towards their right brain, so that is people who are having the creative mindset, those who love colors, those who are more emotional, those who love music, those who love art, they can be creators. But if you want to become a visionary, then you should have a perfect blend of both left and right brain. So people who know how to balance the left and right brain activity, they can be a great visionary. Right? So why am I doing this in business analytics? So in this analytics or in the field of business analytics, one should understand the business problem first, and he should be in a position to identify or make an analogy between an analytics-based solution and a business problem. So his right brain should work well, and also his left brain should work well. His mathematical abilities, logical reasoning abilities, systematic analytics abilities, all these things should work well. At the same time, you should be in a position to understand the business problem and connect an analytic solution to the business problem. So that's where the role of business analyst or data scientist is more important. Right? So that's right. So if you think about yesterday, that is the previous day. So now I'm going to explain how this technology is important in today's world. So in yesterday's context, we are in a triangle model. Like there are three parts of the triangle. One is company, second one is employees, and third one is customers. So this one. So internal marketing happens within the company and the employees. So based on their appraisal policies, based on their recruitment policies and organization culture, the internal marketing will happen. Between the company and customers, the external marketing will happen. And if you know how to take care of your employees, the employees will take care of the customers, with which interactive marketing will happen. Now, in today's model, so that's how the DNA of business is getting redefined. From a triangle model, we are now moving to a pyramid model, in which technology has become a part of the business. Without technology, the business cannot run as effective as possible. Let me give you one example. Even if you go to a small petty shop or a small kirana store, you can find a QR code technology there. Okay. So what's the reason for that? For the organization to put a QR code technology there? What is the reason? Has anyone thought of it? Fine. One is the major problem. At first, understand the business problem. Major problem is people cannot get the exact change. Say, for example, if you're transacting for 23 rupees and you have 100 rupees in hand, the moment you show your 100 rupees or 500 rupees note to the shopkeeper, so the shopkeeper will ask, please give me the change. It's only a 23 rupee transaction. For that, you are giving 500 rupees. How can I give the exact change for you? So that is the first problem. The second major benefit is, so once you use the QR code technology, the data will be captured and the transaction records will be created so that you can understand the data and make a better informed decision. So these are the most important advantage of the technology in business. So right from a small petty shop or a kirana store to a great businesses like Amazon or Flipkart or even your Netflix or Google or Facebook, the fan companies, all these people are using technology. So that's where the technology is redefining the DNA of business. So is my face okay? Am I going the correct manner? Do you want me to stop somewhere? Am I going the right speed? Please.
Yes, sir, it's correct, sir. You
Thank you.
just carry
Thank you
on.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. Thanks for the feedback. Okay. So now we understood the importance of technology in business. We'll start understanding what is business analytics. So before understanding business analytics, we'll try to understand analytics. Analytics is a field which combines data, statistics, and quantitative methods and computer-based models. This combination provides decision makers all possible scenarios to make a well-thought research decision. So, if you think about the decision making by Dhoni, Dhoni will keep some bowlers and he will keep some fielders in the crease, in the ground. All these decisions are based out of his intuition. He will think that it is correct, but it will work. But the difference, the thing is, most of the time it will work. Even for the DRS system, he will do some mind-based class calculation, and he will do that properly. The DRS system will the review given by the DRS will be almost close to the final results. Whereas in case of business, if you are taking a decision, it is going to affect not only you but your entire organization. So if your entire organization is going to get affected, then you have to take a well-informed, careful decision. And these informed decisions cannot be taken intuitively. Some people will have the talent of being intuitive as Dhoni, but some of them need to go through a proper channel of decision making so that their decisions are taken in a scientific manner. So this analytics will give us scientific approach towards the decision making. So how this decision making is arrived by analyzing the data that is there in the hand, by analyzing the historical data, then providing possible insights out of it. So that is called as analytics. So you have to give an example. Say for example, company TVS tires. It is trying to project or forecast the demand for the year 23-24. For that, they have to do a regression model based on the previous historical data, and then project the demand for the next year, forthcoming year. So if SPIC has to forecast fertilizer sale for the year 2024 and 25, then again they have to understand the rainfall in that area. So these are the parameters that will affect the fertilizer sale. The agricultural, the arable land, the cultivatable land in that area, the average rainfall in that area, then the amount of organic or inorganic fertilizers used in the area. So all these things are parameters that will affect the sales of fertilizer. So based on the historical data, they are going to take an informed decision through analysis. So if you are marrying this analytics with the business decision, then it becomes business analytics. Business analytics is the field that drives practical data-driven changes in a business. It is an application of analysis that focuses on providing actionable recommendation to the business. Say, for example, if you have the proper data, you can project or forecast for the sales of a firm. Then we can project the customer experience or customer satisfaction of the firm and so on. So if you are applying the insights of analytics in a business decision, that becomes business analytics. Can help. So where it can help, first thing, it will increase the top line of the business, and it will reduce the cost of a wrong decision, and it will try to increase the bottom line of the business. The top line, and in the sense I mean the revenue. Then the cost that is from the revenue, we have, then only we can get the bottom line, that is the profit after tax. So it is helping in increasing the top line and also the bottom line of the business. It is helping in increasing the market share of the business, revenue, and provide better return on investment to the shareholder. So that's how the business analytics is helping to take an informed business decision. So yeah, you said what is business analytics, but tell me the applications of business analytics, where it is being applied. So it is majorly, predominantly, it is applied in managing customer relationship. So I believe most of you have bought products from Amazon and Flipkart, Myntra, and so on. So in that, what is happening? The customers are being informed about the arrival time of the product. How long will it take the product to reach you? And you can even trace the product as per your wish. So where has it been dispatched? Has it been packed? So all the informations are getting transferred to the end user. So once they know about their product, when it will reach, when it will not reach, and what kind of activity is going on, it's a pure traceability of the entire supply chain. So without analytics, these things are not possible. And you are getting calls from your relationship manager of a bank. All these things are based on your analytics. People will do cross-selling and all the activities based on the historical transaction that you had with that bank. So for managing customer relationship, this analytics is being used. Financial and marketing activities. So nowadays, marketing activities are getting automated. The moment you open YouTube, you are getting an ad. This ad is targeted towards you. How they are targeting the ads towards you? Based on your search history. So you might have searched something in Google, or you might have searched something in some other web pages like YouTube or Facebook. So all this search history are being recorded, and then based on your search history, the marketing ads are coming towards you. It's based on the behavioral data, and even in Netflix and also in Amazon Prime, you are getting some recommended video. So people who have watched this have also watched this video. If you are interested, please watch the video. So all these things again is all this based on analytics model. So it is used in supply chain management, like I told you, for tracing the supply chain. So from which industry or which company or which plant this product has come, it can have the traceability of the entire supply chain. Then in human resource planning, so nowadays HR activities are getting automated. Right from screening of a resume, and right from recruitment process, all these things, all these activities are getting automated. And even analytics is applied there also. So recently we dealt a case study of reducing, so in which the people who got the offer letter, A model is predicting whether the people who got the offer letter will join the organization or will not join the organization. Say, for example, a person has got an offer letter, a potential employee has got an offer letter from a company, but he is reluctant to join. So, the company is having n number of such employees, maybe thousands of employees. If out of these 1,000 employees, 300 employees are not joining, what will happen? It is a cost to the company. The recruitment cost that has incurred has become a junk cost. They cannot recover it, so they have to pay for the panelist. They have to pay for the advertisement agencies. They have to pay for all other things. And one more thing is they have to find one more person for the same position, and again they have to repeat the process, and it's a double cost for them. Rather, if a model could predict whether this person will join or not join, it is a better cost saving for the company. So prevention is always better than cure. This analytics will help the companies to prevent such kind of mishaps in an organization. So it is used in human resource planning as well. In pricing decisions, so you might have seen this in flight ticket booking. The moment you search for a route for a number of times for a route, automatically the price of that particular route will increase. Say, for example, on a particular day, 23rd of January, you are going from Chennai to Mumbai. If you are searching for that route again and again, the price of that route will directly increase. Again, it is based on demand and supply. So, in pricing decisions, analytics is playing a major role. In sports, in game strategies, in defining the strategies for a game, the analytics is being used. So who will win, who will not win. And you might have seen about this Dream 11 contest. So who will win, predicting the winning team. Even when once you open Google, when a match between India and Pakistan is going on, you can easily see a graph which says winning probability. Which team is having the greatest winning probability, and most of the time it works. Sometimes it may not work. Okay, basically the what analytics is giving an informed decision for the end user. So all this informed decision is based on the historical data. So that's the reason some of the predictions are working and some of the predictions are not. So I'll make a pause here, and in case if you have any questions, please let me know. Let me clarify the question and then go forward. Fine. So in case we don't have any questions, so let me continue. So far we have seen what is analytics, what is business analytics. We have seen applications of business analytics, the importance of business analytics. There is a strong relationship of this business analytics with profitability of a business. The businesses that are doing analysis and taking an informed decision are having better profit when compared to a company which is not doing this analysis at all. So it is directly affecting the profitability of business. It is directly affecting the revenue of the business. Like I told you, this is the top line, this is the bottom line, and it is having a direct impact on the shareholders' return. B enhances understanding of the data. So if you take, for example, Amazon, so based on the recommendation system itself, so most of you might have bought from Amazon, and once you purchase a product, in the bottom it will give some recommendation. People who has purchased this product has bought this product also. So based on this recommendation system alone, again it works on a machine learning algorithm. Based on this alone, Amazon is getting 35% of the profit. Can you believe that? 35% of profit is only through the recommendation system. And this recommendation system is so strong that people who are buying a product are intended to buy more product out of such kind of recommendation. Fine. So BA is vital for business to remain competitive. So if you want to be competitive in this cutthroat world, BA is essential. It is vital. Enables creation of informative reports like your intelligence report, like your customer data. How can it be visualized properly? So everywhere this BA is helping a major. Then we have seen what is business analytics, and we have seen what are the different applications of business analytics and the importance of business analytics. And these are different types of business analytics. So basically, the business analytics starts with the data. So data can be structured data, a semi-structured data, or an unstructured data. The example for a structured data is in the data in a defined manner, like in a table form or in a readable form. So all these things are called as structured data. The data which is there which is not so organized, which is arranged in a zigzag manner or a non-understandable manner, they are called as semi-structured data. Unstructured data can be your voices, your images, or your video. So all these things are unstructured data. So we are basically starting with data. So from data, we are going to descriptive analytics. So that's the first type of analysis. So from the data, we are trying to understand the data from a single number. Like we are trying to answer the question what, when, how much, where, and who. So let us say, for example, we are analyzing the data of a supermarket. Which product has been bought more? Then what is the average age of people coming visiting the supermarket? And how much is the average purchase they are making? Who has made a major purchase? Is it male or female? In which location the major contribution came from? Is it from people from the western part of the city or southern part of the city or from northern part of the city? We can answer most of the question. Entirely, what we are trying to do is we are trying to describe the entire data in a single number. So that is called as descriptive analytics. Then the next level, the third level, is to answer the question why. So it is trying to understand the reason behind it. So we are trying to understand. We are doing some diagnosis. Why people from eastern part of the city has bought more when compared to people from western part of the city, or why the sales of previous year is high when compared to the sales of this year. There can be n number of reasons. COVID can be one of the reasons, or there can be ineffective employee performance on the particular year. That can be one of the reasons. So basically, what we are doing is we are doing a diagnostic analysis. Then the next level, what we are doing is we are doing a predictive analysis. Like in case if you have seen, uh, so in case we have seen and seen, again I'm saying the cricket example because you can relate it very easily. In case we have seen cricket matches, we can see the projected score of a team. So this projected score is based on the runs per over. So right now, the run rate is 6 runs per over. The same run rate is getting continued. At the end of 50th over, the team will score 300 runs. If it is moving from 6 runs per over to 8 runs per over, the team score will move from 300 to 340 or something. Whatever. So from the historical data, we try to predict the future, what will happen in the forthcoming time. So in that case, it is called as predictive analytics. Then from prediction, we are going for prescription. So like in case the prediction is for the business, then some of the resources has to be placed properly or placed optimally. So from prescriptive prediction, we are going to prescriptive analysis. Now let me go with the same cricket exam so that you can relate. So in case of cricket, if the run rate per over is 10, and no, the run rate per over 10, per over is 10, and it's a T20 match. So what is the expected team score? It can be 200 runs. So the team is scoring 10 runs per over. Totally there are 20 overs. So totally the score will be 200 runs. So if a captain has to make a decision, so if he wants to contain the run rate, he may appoint the best bowler for that team for that situation, so that he can contain the run rate from 10 runs per over. He can contain the run rate to 4 runs per over or 3 runs per over, whatever, or he can take some wickets. So based on the prediction, he makes some informed decision, prescription. He's giving some prescription, like a doctor is giving some prescription. So this is the situation of the team now. For that situation, who can be played better? Okay, so that's what is prescriptive analytics. So it's similar to the doctor's prescription that you are getting. So what the doctor is doing? Doctor is initially doing some diagnosis. He is using this stethoscope. He is using his thermometer. He is using his visual perception. He is asking you to open your eyes. He is using his hand to open your eyes properly. What he is doing basically is doing some diagnosis. What kind of fever it is, or what kind of illness it is. He is doing some diagnosis. And from diagnosis, he is doing some prediction. Okay, this can be some fever. This can be based out of these reasons, maybe because of food poison or because of some kind of germs. This may occur. And at the end, what he is doing, he is taking his slip and giving a prescription, a recommendation for you. You take this tablet. You have to take this tablet in the morning and evening or the night. Then you can come out of a illness problem. Similar to that, we are also the business analyst will also diagnose, he will also predict, and he will also prescribe a solution for the business problem. So that's how it works. So what we are doing is basically from data we are moving to information. Then in case of descriptive analytics, it is just giving some information. The average sales for this year is $20.3, 23 million US dollars. The average sales for the previous year is $19.3 billion, something like that. We are giving some information. Okay. So then in knowledge, we are trying to understand why there is a gap between previous year and next year, or about this year. So last year we have made a profit of $20.3 million. This year it has reduced to $19.3 million. Why there is a disparity? Why there is a change? Then we are trying to predict what will happen in the future. So for the next financial year or for the next financial or calendar year, we can expect sales of around the $22.3 billion. And for reaching this, what kind of optimal utilization of resources we have to apply? So what is the optimum size of the sales team? What kind of marketing activities has to be carried out? How can we reduce the operational expenses? Where can we cut down the finances? And what kind of employee engagement activity we can plan for? So all these things we can plan properly, we can give wisdom. So that's the difference between information, knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom. So information is just giving some information about some situation. Knowledge is understanding why. Intelligence is predicting or forecasting what next will happen. And wisdom is taking an informed choice or informed decision about this. So these are different types of analytics. And this analytics is having a great scope for business. It uses data to understand past and present, and uses diagnostics to understand the reason behind the business problem. And it is doing some predictive, analyze the past performance and predict the future based on historical data. And finally, it is also doing some prescription. What is the optimal solution for this business problem? So that's how the business analytics works. So we have seen applications of business analytics. We have seen importance of business analytics. Then we have seen the types of business analytics and how it is defining the scope of a business. That's how it works. So what is your role? So in case if you are being appointed as a business analyst, what is the role of a business analyst for the students? For the students, if you are appointed as a business analyst, the fundamental job responsibility of a business analyst is to elect, analyze, and validate the change requirements for business process, information system, and policies, and communicate them with the stakeholders, both in written manner and also in the oral form. So that's where your left and right brain works. This business analytics will interact with both business partners and end users, to understand how data-driven changes to business process, products, software, hardware can enhance the efficiencies and add value to the organization. So basically, this business analyst will act as a bridge between the technical experts who are experts in code building and so on, and the business, understanding the business problem or what is the current issue that is going on. How can these things be combined together? So that's the responsibility of a business analyst. So these are the roles of business: creating a detailed business analysis. So what is happening in the business? What is the problem? The existing problem in the business. Drafting the problem and opportunities, and what kind of analytic solutions can be given based on the business problem. and defining the business requirements and reporting them back to the stakeholders after doing a proper analysis. Budgeting and forecasting. Do a budgeting for for a analyst role and what kind of forecasting will happen. Then planning and monitoring. Then variance analysis. There is any variance. How can we reduce the deviation? So all these things are roles of a business analyst. And finally, pricing expense. Report. So when we stop when it's required. So imagine if a business is having an answer that they need to bid when customers are thinking of leaving. So if you understand who are the customers and if you can identify the customers who are thinking to leave a company, if you can predict them well in advance, if you can do a predictive analytics and if you can predict them well in advance, probably the customer relationship manager can do a intervention and they can stop this customer churn. Then which transactions are fraudulent? This is the most important information for a financial manager. If the transaction is fraudulent, if someone else is transacting on behalf of some customers, it's a fraudulent transaction. So if there's an anomaly in the transaction, if it can be identified immediately, that is a great insight for the business, and the fraudulent activities can be stopped then and there. Which new product has the greatest chance of success? It is a great opportunity for the business manager, so product manager, to launch a new product. So basically, the automobile companies, they will an ad for a product and see what is the response in the social media. So if the social media is giving a positive response towards that automobile, maybe a car or a motorbike, which means that the people will buy the product very definitely, which means that you can be confident in releasing the product very soon. So, which product has the greatest chance of success? How can I extract insight from all my information? What kind of information we have, and how can I extract extract insight out of the information? The ultimate differentiator today is this: the informed decision making, is being able to make informed decision with confidence to anticipate and shape the business outcomes. So if you can identify what kind of business outcomes that you will get, and if you have the confidence to anticipate and make an informed decision, then you can be a winner in the business. So that's what is expected in today's world. And in today's context, it is a cutthroat competition. The competitors are ready to cut your throat in case if you are not performing well in the business. And these are the game-changing technologies that you can expect. The first game-changing technology is AI and ML, then IoT and blockchain. Okay, so to put it simple, AI is mimicking the human behavior, intelligent human behavior. It's a capability of a machine to imitate human behavior. Say, for example, if you are in case we have used Alexa or any other voice assistant like Siri or Google Assistant, what you are giving as an input. You are giving your voice as an input. So to talk in a technical term, it is a unstructured data. Your voice input is an unstructured data. But this voice assistant can easily understand the difference between a British accent to an Indian accent. The way I speak English is different when compared to the way US person is speaking English. But it can easily identify what I am saying and it can provide the output that is required. Hey Alexa, play me this song. It can easily identify my accent and it can play a song. So basically, these things, this kind of intelligence, previously it was expected out of a human being, but now a machine is doing it. So that's what is artificial intelligence. The computer system is able to perform the task that normally requires human intelligence, like visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translate between languages. So in India, each and every year, there's a great output of workforce. And there is a common saying that this AI is replacing the workforce, it is taking the job of the workforce. And as I told you already, if you are there in the clerical quadrant, your jobs can be easily replaced. Never try to be in the clerical quadrant. You migrate yourself towards the missionary or a bureaucrat or a creative worker. So even now, the AI is supporting the creative works. Like in case of non-fungible tokens, creators are getting benefited out of AI. While taking an informed decision, even the doctors are getting an informed decision out of AI. Normally, if a doctor is seeing an X-ray and in his naked human eye, he cannot identify a crack in the bone. Whereas a machine learning algorithm or a deep learning algorithm can easily identify the crack, and it will inform the doctor that this in this case there is a small crack which can lead to fracture in the future, and the doctors can take an informed decision. So that's how it works. And each and every year, 90 million people are getting included in the job portal, and AI is providing answer for all these 90 million people. So if they have proper upskilling towards this analytics industry, which is an ever-growing industry, and the future of the AI industry is very promising, and that's a job for each and everyone who are choosing this as a career. Then comes to blockchain. So fine. So if you think about internet, what problem does it solve? If you think about an answer for that, it reduces the distance gap. So when the internet revolution happened during the late 90s, and it started reducing the distance gap between one place to other place. So from here, from India, you can send the email to US in seconds, and from India, you can talk to any person through your WhatsApp with the help of your WhatsApp video connectivity. So it reduces distance gap. So blockchain is a distributed ledger in which it is reducing the trust gap. So usually, two organizations, if they want to trust each other, they have to seek a third party's intervention. So for example, for a transaction, organization A is giving a check to organization B for completing the transaction, for completing the cash transaction. So this check is offered by some other bank, which is a third party. In the case of blockchain, this third party intervention can be avoided, and the distributed ledger system can be followed, so that two parties alone is sufficient for making this transaction successful. Third party intervention can be reduced. So that's the basics of blockchain. In case of IoT, the things or the machines or the devices are getting connected. So right now, the Alexa and your TV or your home appliances can be connected easily. So that's a basic example. And the Internet of underwater things, like a sensor will be there, and there'll be a surface thing, and it is connected to the satellite, and it is again connected to the ground system. So if there is any natural disaster that is happening in the sea, these sensors can make a predictive analytics well in advance, and it can project some mishappening is going to happen well in advance towards the system. So that's how IoT is helpful for the entire humanity. Similarly, for in the Internet of underground things, you might have seen this mine swiper. The mine swiper can play a major role. So, in which the terrestrial, in the surface, we are keeping some sensors. So, through the sensors, we are trying to identify what is there in the underground. So, that's how this IoT works. So, IoT is basically is connected devices. And in business, it is having a huge impact. The doctors are doing their surgery through IoT, and businesses are connecting devices. And then you know about the drones, the drone based delivery for Amazon. In future, Amazon is planning to give this drone based delivery system in which they can avoid such human errors. So in future, few years from now, we can expect 4 billion connected people. We can expect 4 trillion revenue out of this IoT, 25 billion connected devices, and 30 zettabytes of data, and so on. So IoT, blockchain, and AI. So these are the technologies of the future. Fine. So organization has a better understanding about the customer, real-time optimization, and collaborative decision, and the entire enterprise visibility. So these are the three mantras of business, and that's how this analytics is redefining the DNA of the business. So it is analytics is helping, is enabling the demand visibility of a business within just 3 clicks to build a predictive model for demand estimation, and it is providing 323 percentage increase in ROI. So if in case if a person is spending 1 rupee of revenue in machine learning algorithm, he is getting back 323 percentage or 323 rupees in return towards his investment in a analytics based system. So imagine a world of possibilities which is having low limit, information from everywhere, radical flexibility, and extreme scalability. So all these things are is a must required things for business. Being the business need information, it needs flexibility, and it needs extreme scalability. So all these things, the answers is in data and analysis. Fine. Let me give a punch here, and then I will try to consolidate what is happening in the world of business analytics. Yesterday's analytics is experience management. Today's analytics is experiment management. Tomorrow's analytics is expectation management. So yesterday's analytics is is based on lag database. So historical data will be recorded, and based on the historical data, some insight will be derived, and in decisions will be taken based on that. So it is like a post-mortem report. Today's analytics is like a mix of lag data and lead data. So like my session is going on in YouTube, and in case the YouTube is having the translation facility, whatever words that I am talking, it can be translated easily into English. So in which it is a mix of lag data, historical data, and the real time data. Whereas the tomorrow's analytics will be based on lead data. Uh, so some of you might be aware of it. The companies like Amazon and Flipkart are now making losses. So even for the past year, they are making losses. And recently, the Zomato came for an IPO. But even then, the entire world knows that these companies are making losses. They started investing in the business, and it was oversubscribed. The stocks of Zomato was oversubscribed. We think the reason behind that, basic reason behind that is people know that Zomato is sitting on pile of data, and this data is having a huge business impact in the forthcoming days. Zomato now knows that who is a best vendor in a particular area, and it can based on the recommendation system. It can recommend that particular vendor in the top of its list, so that people can buy from it. So, what is the data that is going to come in the future? Based on the data, the current price of a business is increasing. Share price of business is increasing. So, yesterday's analytics is lag data based. Today's analytics is a mix of lag and lead data, and tomorrow's analytics is purely based on lead data. What is the data that is going to come now, and what is the worth of the data? Fine. So the time to act is now. If you want to understand the customer expectation, if you want to understand the data captured per minute, if you want to understand the rate of change of business, so all these things, new analytical capabilities, the time to act is now. Okay, so this diagram is how the technology is driving the world. Like from 1G, it was just a voice data, and in 6G, it is space tourism, interactive internet, deep sea insight, digital. Right now, we are in this area. We are in the transit between 4G and 5G. Few years from now, we may move on to 6G. And education, there is a great transfer in the education also. Industry is also transferring from 1.2 to 5.1. So if the industry is expecting the role of business analyst as an important thing, the education should be a part of it, and they should also build some. So they build the skill base out of it. Okay. So innovation-based education, ethics and humanity-based education. So all these things are going to be the future. Right? So these are the core and electives that we offer in analytics, and this is the industry expectations as well. The people who are working in the analytics industry are expecting these kind of skill set in people, and from the candidates that they're recruiting. So how to redefine the DNA of education, business education? even invited lectures, role plays like what the DG Vaishnav college is doing now, like involve people in group discussion, give a consulting assignment to the students so that they can think better. Just have a connect with the incubation centers, can plan for hackathon. So right now, there is a hackathon running in TSM, which is based on Kaggle. And the people are participating in Kaggle very enthusiastically. And projects from Kaggle, Ether online. So make it as a part of your curriculum as well. And basically, three important things are very essential: attitude, knowledge, and skills. Attitude is like the root of the tree. Knowledge is like a trunk of the tree. Skills is like the leaves of the tree. Knowledge and skills can be acquired very easily. But if the roots are rotten, then it is difficult for rebuilding them. So hence, build your roots strong. Right? So I thought of showing this, but I'll finish with some examples. So in case of Colgate Palmolive, how they are using this? They are using their interconnected framework for of therapeutic knowledge and technology, develop an end-to-end machine learning model that improves return on ad. So it is providing a ad, but how to understand the return on ad? So in case they are publishing in TV or any other social media, they know they are spending so much of money. But what kind of people are buying the product actually based out of the ad? So this Colgate Palmolive has created a machine learning algorithm, and it is showing that this model is 80% accurate and consists of multi-stage classification and cascaded model. Philips India, its leading health technology company, the AI-driven technology to three computer vision-based solution. The model has the ability to measure body parts and analyze their hair follicle using computer vision to provide better treatment and track the progress with great accuracy. So imagine a sensor is analyzing the hair follicle and it is predicting the kind of skin disease for a person. Okay, that is very incredible, and Philips India has mastered it. It's basically a health technology based company. Yeah, they're having it's a conglomerate company. Philips is basically known for its tube lights and bulb, but they are also in the health technology area. Right? And for social good, analytics is also there for social good. The classification algorithm is being built by ENY, and it has built a classification system for frogs, species of frogs. So if a species is about to extinct, a sensor will work, and this sensor will give an intimation to the social workers. This phase for frog species is going to be extinct for in the next few years. These frog species will not be there in the entire world. So yeah, probably an intervention can happen, and this can be saved. Fine. Let me ask this question: who can learn this analytics? You don't have to be a great programmer. You don't have to be a great mathematician. All of us are recipients of analytics, benefits of analytics without knowing it. So whenever you use Facebook or whenever you use Instagram, the feeds that are coming into your Instagram is based on this analytics. The recommendation system, YouTube recommendation system, it is based on analytics. So analytics is almost applied in everywhere, right from movies, right from business, right from politics, right from all other kind of activities. Analytics is being used. Where not analytics, I don't have a question for that. Where not analytics is being used. Recently, I don't have any questions. So any answers for this? Where not analytics is being used. So analytics is being used in business. It is used in movies. It is used in sports field. It is used in figuring out which TV show will click. We choose even in choose predicting the country's next prime minister. Even in the love online, we have used some of the online love online app. It will give some recommendations. What kind of words to be used to impress your spouse and so on. So even in the matrimony.com, this the recommendation system on matrimony.com, it's using analytics. So everywhere analytics is being used. Fine. So if you want to make a change towards a new thing, this is how the change works. You have a vision, you have skills, if you have motivation, and if you have resources, and if the action plan is missing, then it will lead to false starts. If you have a vision, if you have skills, if you have motivation, if your resources are missing, then it will lead to frustration. If the motivation is missing, there will be a great resistance towards the vision. If there is a if the skills are missing, you have to upskill yourself. It will lead to anxiety. If the vision itself is missing, you will have confusion. Which direction to choose? There will be confusion. If everything works well, you have a right vision, you have a right kind of skills, you have a right kind of motivation, the right kind of resources, and if you have a right kind of action plan, then the change works. If you want to have a change towards this business analytics career, we offer a course on business analytics, a weekend course. So this year it was completely a physical course, but next year we are planning to have an online course. I will let you know the details through the HOD of the department, Ms. Dr. Sarulata and Renu Madam, very shortly. If you are interested towards this course, you can improve yourself. Right. So I would like to end this session with a quote from Albert Einstein. I have no special talents. I am just passionately curious. There is no cure for curiosity. If you have a passion towards something, then you can learn it very easily. Thank you all very much for your patient listening. I'm happy to answer if you have any questions. Thank you all so much. If there is any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Sir, sir, can I ask a question, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead, Harish.
Sir, how can we grab the attention of the customer in the businesses, sir?
Okay, so in case of, let me answer the question from a business analytics point of view. Say, for example, if you don't have any of this automated marketing or analytics based insight of a customer, what you will do, you will spray and then pray. So you will probably you will give a advertisement in a print media, and then you will pray for the customers to see that newspaper, and then they may have to come back. Or in case if it is an established business, imagine that you don't have any data about your customers. So whomsoever is willing and coming to the business, you will just make a business out of it, and then you will be happy about it. Rather, if you have the entire data about database about your customers, on what day they have transacted, what is the product they bought, and which is the prime time of their purchase, and what kind of customers are coming to my shop, and finally, what is the average income or average amount spent per visit. So, in case if you have all these things in your hand, what you can do is you can segment your customers, segment based on their buying behavior, based on your recency, based on the recency of purchase, frequency of purchase, and monetary value of purchase. Basically, it is called as RFM analysis. And then segment these customers, and then target them with a particular product or a particular service that you offer, and then make most business out of it. So that's how it is doing. And you might have used Zomato. So if it is Sunday and if it is it's, 1 p.m. In the mid of the day, you will get a push notification from Zomato. This is Sunday and it is 1 p.m. Are you not feeling hungry? It's time to biryani. So how it is getting this information? All these things are purely based on data. Because you might have searched for biryani somewhere in Google or somewhere in your mobile, and it is exactly capturing your behavioral information, and it is showing a push notification out of the behavioral data. So that's how it works. So that's how the business are working with analytics industry. Did I answer your question, Harish?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Thank,
sir.
thank you, Harish.
So there's another question from the audience.
Yeah, yeah.
Various softwares are available in the market. Which is more friendly, suitable software for using business analytics?
Okay, softwares again, the most predominant software which is used by analysts is Python. Um, and other softwares like SPSS, then SAS, Jump also will support. The only problem with Python is you should understand the codes and then you have to apply the codes for a business problem. So that's how it works. Whereas in case of SPSS or SAS, it is based on graphical user interface (GUI). So if you are not so proficient with coding and all kind of stuff, may probably use the softwares like SPSS and SAS. And if you know about little bit about coding, and if you can manage with the basic understanding about the codes, then you can easily go for Python. So that's how it works. Did they answer the questions, Raisi?
Yes, sir. That was a question from the audience.
Yeah,
Thank you
yes,
so
right.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Raisi. Fine. So, if there is any, if there is there are no other questions, let me say thank you for the entire organizing team, the HOD madam and Professor Renu for inviting me as a guest speaker. And I'm happy that I have ignited the young minds of DG Vaishnav College, and I've also had an opportunity to meet all of you through virtual mode. And that's all. Though even here we are using technology. Technology is omnipresent. It's like yeah, it is present everywhere. We can make we can feel the presence of technology everywhere. Without this technology, it is very difficult for me to get connected with this kind of young and energetic audience. Thank you so much for your patient listening. I really enjoyed the session, and happy to get connected with you again in some other occasion. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for addressing our students, sir. It means a lot to us. It was a
Thank
very
you.
informative session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Precisely.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us today. It was a very simple and probably you removed some kind of like no backdrops which we had, kind of fear that whenever we talk about business analytics, is it something really technical, programming, computer science,
Okay.
mathematics?
Okay.
So thank you, and we look forward to take the information management to the next level, probably in our institution also
Sure, ma'am.
with
Sure.
business analytics. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Natraj sir. It was a very valuable session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Very happy.
Thank you, sir.
Sure,
It
ma'am.
was a very information session, and hope the audience liked it. We are able to see lots and lots of positive comments that are being posted.
Thank
So
you.
it was very easy to understand, rather than using all the big technical words. So it was like very simple for us to understand, and it was a wonderful session. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So happy, ma'am. Thank you. Fine, ma'am. So we'll get connected offline. I'm happy to meet all of you through virtual mode. Anytime, after this cutting the call, I will call you back. Thank you.
Yep, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot.